Hosted by Matt Riches. $1 trillion tickers. $1 trillion tickers. Watch the market unfold. $1 trillion tickers. Turning data to gold. $1 trillion tickers. Watch the market unfold. $1 trillion tickers. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Wherever you're tuning in from around the globe, peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Welcome to the $1 Trillion Tickers broadcast. I'm your host, Matt Riches. It is Sunday, July 5th, 2026. The market is closed. Happy Sunday. In this episode, we will be going over the semiconductor support and resistance levels for next week. We have 4 companies. These are all $1 trillion tickers. Nvidia, Micron, Taiwan Semiconductor, and Broadcom, aka AVGO. All right, so let's get started with Nvidia. Okay. First up, this week, Nvidia was up 1.1%. So it didn't move very much this week. Let's check. It is down currently 17.6% from the all-time high. We did get an all-time high here on this second week of May. So it has been in a downtrend ever since. Now let's check out the daily, see what we got. We did have a gap down here on June 22nd to the 23rd, and it's just been in a downtrend. It popped up, and now it's consolidating again. So we'll have to see what happens next. Okay, so on Friday, it was down 1.3%. Ended up closing at 194.83. Okay, so to the downside, first level is going to be 192.35, followed by 191.20, 189.80, and then we have this small gap that needs to be filled here underneath that. And then once we fill that gap, if we do continue to the downside, I got 187.85, 185.75, 182.90, and then the top of another gap that starts at 180.33. Now, if we get a positive momentum this week to the upside, I have 198.20, $200.06, $200.60, 202.95, and then the bottom of this gap here that starts at 203.84. The midway point of the gap is 205.76, and the top of the gap is 207.74. And then once we fill this gap, we get into our Smart Money Concepts resistance zone here that begins right at the top of the gap and goes all the way to 214. So those are the levels that I have for Nvidia for next week. Next up, let's check out MU. So on the week, MU was down 13.8%. So terrible week for MU. It did actually hit an all-time high the previous week. So could this be just people continuing to take profits? So from that all-time high, we're actually down 22.2% on Micron. Now let's check out the daily chart. As you can see, we hit that all-time high on June 25th, sold off, bounced, and sold off again. So we are now, the closing price on Thursday was $975.56. So we did actually close under $1,000. So that is an important level for sure. So to the downside support, my first level is 960.20, followed by 950.28, 934.85, 910.70. If we do break that 900, I got us going to 895.50, then 883.25. If we do get some upward momentum, my first resistance level is 992.45, followed by 1032.20, and then 1049, $1,064.64, $1,092.50. Then we get to the bottom of this gap that starts at 196.78, 196.87. The midway point of the gap is 1,110.50 cents, and the top of the gap is $1,124.13. If we do fill this gap, got us going to $1,143.52, and then back to $1,168, y'all. All right. But yeah, MU is looking real bearish right now, y'all. That thing sold off so hard. We got to see where it finds some support at. Next up, we got TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor. Oh, look at this candle, y'all. So on the weekly, Taiwan Semiconductor was up 0.4%. So it wasn't red, but it was barely green. And as you can see, this is a spinning top candlestick pattern on the weekly. That is very bearish, extremely bearish. But as you can see, it did hit an all-time high here this week. So maybe it was just profit taking. Once we hit this all-time high on Tuesday, June 30th, it just sold off the next 2 days. On Wednesday, it sold off 6.9%. On Thursday, it sold off 2.2%. Okay, so will profit taking continue, or will we get more? So if the profit taking does continue, the first level I have to the downside is 429.50, followed by 419.20. 413.25, and then a very important level here, 405.50. If we break that 405, yeah, we dropping. We might actually bounce right here before going to that 485. Let me put one more level on there, y'all. Before we go to 385.10, we might actually bounce on this 395.95. Okay, so if buyers do step in to the upside resistance, the first level I got is 442.90, followed by 449.70, 456.10, 461.45, 467.75, and then we back at all-time highs after that. Next, we got AVGO. On the weekly, it was down 1.2%. Not too bad, but it's definitely continued this bearish momentum ever since it hit this all-time high here on June 1st. It's just been selling off. So we'll see if this sell-off continues. It did close the day on Thursday at 360.45. So yeah, I definitely see some lower highs and lower lows on this chart. So that's definitely bearish as far as market structure. If the sell-off continues, first stop I got is 356.45, followed by 353.60, 351.50, 347.75, 343.90. Underneath that, we do have the top of the gap at 342.71. The midway point of the gap is 338.38. And the bottom of the gap is 334.72. If buyers step in to the upside resistance at 364.65, 368.45, 374, 379.60, 386.65, 391, 398.80, and if we break over 400, 405.40 is my first level up there. All right. So that's all I got, folks. Those are our $1 trillion ticker semiconductors levels for next week. Support and resistance. Go ahead and set those alerts. And let's get this money out the market tomorrow.
Chase money. Chase excellence, never chase money. Why? Because money has an incredible way of finding excellence. Did you chase excellence and not money? Do you have the intellectual curiosity to learn everything you can about this incredible industry and master it? Become the smartest person in the room. Have you mastered it?
Thank y'all for tuning in. Shout out to everybody on YouTube Live. Next episode, we have levels for Apple, Microsoft, Google, and Amazon. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom.